perform quicker and optimized functions that ordinarily takes forever to accomplish with them, because the stress of traveling to a location, having to meet someone, having to go to the farm, or have to, go through some series of conversations, and or you need to just go and effect a transaction for a particular product is something that when you leverage digital transformation, it eliminates all these challenges and keeps you in the place where your transactions are quite very seamless and very easy to happen. And when you do that, there is a kind of value that is on an increased standpoint that you actually present to your customers, and that sense of fulfillment and satisfaction for them to want to also come to you and all. Then some natural occurrence sometimes helps you with your knowledge of digital transformation to begin to navigate. So, okay, with this advent of this particular challenge, how do I pivot and begin to still do my business, but in a different strategy, leveraging digital tools? So there is a lot of benefits when you speak directly to how digital transformation has actually impacted small and medium-scale enterprises in Nigeria. You all will agree with me that today, when you open your WhatsApp, in fact, you just don't even have a WhatsApp. There was a time where it was just WhatsApp we had, but now we have WhatsApp Business. You go to Facebook, you have a Facebook page for business and all of that. And many of us are into businesses because we're able to just do this business just with the use of our smartphones. We know very well that if you're supposed to do the same business the way that it should be done on a normal or natural base, there will be a need for us to rent the store. There will be a need for us to get the goods. There will be a need for us to transport the goods to that particular store. There will be a need for us to go to that store on a daily basis for these transactions to be carried on. But yeah, we sit at the comfort of our home. We use our phones. Our stores are on our phones. We necessarily don't need to even go to buy these things from whatever wholesale store to bring to ourselves. But all what we need to is we advertise this product. Whoever is interested, we get the wholesaler and we get this demand from them to say, oh, we have people demanding for this and we need supply for this, and it happens seamlessly. That could be a beautiful example of how beneficial digital transformation has been to the small and medium scale enterprises today. And when you see how efficiently all of these activities are carried out, you could tell that you would rather transact the way you're transacting rather than the initial process that you have to go through. Again, I want to give example of COVID. During COVID, it became very clear that an online market store is just what we should all fall back. But when you look at it very well and ask yourself the question of the percentage of people that are in that category of leveraging a particular store to transact their businesses, you agree with me that the percentage is definitely quite very low. Why? Because there are a large population of Nigerians who do not have access to capital, who are in the business. Even in markets like Lagos, there are certain markets you go to that a typical market woman selling there does not even know how. The only knowledge about phone or a touchlight phone is basically to make and receive calls. And she was found in a situation where she was not meant to come to the market. She can't sell because movements were restricted. People were meant to be indoors. You could tell that if not for the benefit of digital transformation, a lot of negative impact happened within that period. But with that, we were able to sit in the comfort of our homes and get whatever we wanted to buy for those people who are privileged enough to buy themselves in the city, so that they are able to still live their lives irrespective of a particular challenge. That is just to address to us the benefit of digital transformation to most businesses, most especially small scale countries. So I really am trying to ensure that my environment is quite serene so that I can be able to communicate and you hear me very well, so I limit the noise from my end. Because
yes, sir, we understand, sir. You're good to go, sir.
okay. Oh, okay. That's all. Thank you. Okay, so going further, I would like to speak directly to certain success stories of businesses that have been able to, take advantage of the digital transformation space and are doing very successfully today. And quick to mind, it's as easy and very relatable is the online stores of Konga and Jumia. If you look at this online platforms, the platforms that have actually harnessed a whole lot of SMEs together. Jumia doesn't have all of these products, or Jumia is not a wholesale that have all of those products, but Jumia is a platform that has collected different SMEs in terms of different products that they are trading, and all they do is showcase this product on their platform and facilitate the transactions, where it's a win-win kind of situation for those who have the product that showcasing for sale, and for those who are willing to buy the product. And nobody needs to come together. Everybody just needs to sit in their comfort zone and using their smartphones, get to connect and transact, and you get your products delivered at your doorstep. That's a very typical example of the impact of digital transformation. And there is this highly competitive nature between the Honda and the Junior kind of online stores, where they have actually, improved on their services in a very competitive way in order to ensure that the value to customers is delivered at the maximum level. A lot of businesses today are quite very flourishing. Why? Because of these platforms. So rather than maintain the huge bus stop, some persons have decided to say, you know what, I have a space in my house. Why can't I stock my goods here? Whilst I'm registered in Jumia and I get this in place there, and we can deliver the things from here. This has been something that in the slightest period that you have with the stores in Nigeria, they have progressed and made a lot of benefits to both the customers and the people who have their products and are displayed on Jumia for sale. If you take it to the same technology aspect, today the payment process is something that we're quite very excited about, to a point that for some people who have understood the benefit of a cashless society, it is quite very strange for one to move about with resources or monies in their account. Why? Because with the banks, you have apps that payments can easily be done, or you have the point of sales or a system where you have a few words to make a transaction using your card. And it has made the financial technology like a very exciting place where everybody's excited. But it is the advantage of what digital transformation has really done. If you delve a bit into the health sector, if you look at the way the health services are delivered, there are certain health services now that medical doctors, out of curiosity and with the entrepreneurship mindset, have created where people don't really need to find themselves in the hospitals for them to have health services rendered there. Why? Because there is a platform that they can go onto and put in the information in regards to the challenge they're facing, and boom, in less than seconds, they have this to themselves. Coming down to very local and linear businesses that WhatsApp's platforms and Facebook platforms have been leveraged, will agree with me that every young Nigerian today, be it a student, be the student or a graduate from the university, has at least a business that the person is doing in this future. And you could see that from where you go to WhatsApp, You get to find people's WhatsApp status and what's going on here. Why are they doing that? They're deliberately advertising the products and selling to their potential customers. And businesses are also doing that. Imagine that the technologies of Facebook, of the online platforms or softwares of Facebook, Google, Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft were not leveraged. How the situation of progress when it comes to database would have been today in Nigeria. And as much as the benefits exist, there are a whole lot of challenges that are befalling this. And one of the major and first challenges I've faced with regards to taking advantage of this by SMEs is the fact that there is that challenge of interest and willingness of acceptability of options of digital transformations. It may be from a personal standpoint, but largely it's part of the lack of knowledge or lack of education. Because for one to leverage digital transformation or tools to infuse into their business and whole, there is a need for you to first be interested, understand how it benefits you or your business, and deliberately accept the fact that you need to learn some knowledge on how that particular technology digitally is applied to your business. So if you look at the challenges today, whilst this has helped, it has great impact. If you look at the challenges today, I can tell you for sure that one of the quickest and easiest of the challenges that our SMEs today are facing with regards to leveraging digital transformation to the success of their business is the fact that there is a lack of patience, there's a lack of willingness, there's a lack of acceptability. And when you don't have that, what do you then do to find you in the place where you are also going to be highly competitive with your competitors in the market? The strategy for me for that particular challenge, which is the most commonest and key, is the fact that we need to, as business people, begin to think from the point of going all out and leaving our comfort zone if really we want to succeed in business. And by doing that, your goal should be to understand how very important and how very helpful or beneficial a particular digital tool is to your business. And irrespective of the fact that you may not understand how it operates and all of that, does not stop you from looking out for people who are very fast and very good at using things. And it could be two things. Either someone who actually handle this aspect for you to ensure that you are actually out there and highly competitive in the course of your business. Or whilst the person is handling it for you because the person knows what it is and that how it operates, you can also at the same time provide yourself or make yourself available to begin to get the knowledge of how within a particular period of time you are also able to become very knowledgeable about that particular digital tool, so you don't necessarily need the knowledge or the services of an expert. That is very important. Secondly, you will speak directly to the challenges of capital. When you speak to small, medium enterprises, 99% of the capitals that are required for them to be in business are relied on personal savings and maybe contributions from families and friends and even loans. But when you look at the loan aspect, the loans that are available for SMEs are usually loans that are meant to be at least in the medium term, but you necessarily find that available for them. So the challenge of capital is taking advantage of digital transformation is something that SMEs in Nigeria today are facing. On the other part, again, which is very key, when you talk about leadership of SMEs, 99% of people are quite interested in Nigeria or even in developing economies to find themselves doing a particular business and all of that. But the leadership of the business majorly is domiciled with the owner and the idea behind why the business actually was kickstarted. And sometimes it lacks that level of expertise of a professional level of managing business. And because there is also a stiffer kind of process of succession for other people to take over, it tends to affect the progress of such a business. such a way that it limits whatever progress it makes is actually limited to the knowledge of who the leader of that particular SME is. And with that, if you have a leader or you're leading your business as an SME and you think you don't fancy the importance of leveraging digital tools to your business and all, it definitely going to keep you in a place where you'll definitely not be in a very highly competitive nature. Maybe even at some point you might be out of business and all. So these are problems, and maybe to a large extent, most of our SMEs tend not to go through the process of proper business registration. So they don't tend to have some certain structure in terms of certain registrations with certain bodies that would actually keep them in a very well structured manner. And it keeps them in a place where they are not able to leverage some of these opportunities digitally for them to be able to, access that environment that is enabling for them to succeed and do business in a highly competitive way too. These challenges to SMEs are things that, as an owner of an SME, you may not be aware. You may be blind to the fact that the things you're doing are just the right things and all. But someone else who is out there, who's a professional, that is viewing it from a business mindset, not minding whether it's an owner to the business or no, can tell you for sure objectively that, hey, young man, I think if you do it this way, it's better, and not the other way you're doing it. So leadership, the interest to leverage digital transformation, capital, and some sort of government policies are very major challenges that have actually affected SMEs in leveraging most of these opportunities digitally for them to be able to, place their businesses in a place where they are not only delivering value, creating satisfaction for the customers, but they are also changing how their operation is. It is also very important for SMEs to also note that digital transformation in itself, aside integrating the digital technology in the areas of business, should be viewed as a cultural change that requires organizations to continually challenge the status quo. And sincerely, if we do not embrace technology digitally when it relates to SMEs, we will definitely not be in business in the very long term. And this part of it really is very striking, and it's quite deep for me. If we begin to see the fact that at every point in time, we need to challenge the status quo of where we are in terms of how the business is being operated and the kind of revenues that is being generated and all of that, it will really, really become very exciting, right? Because we will begin to get comfortable with failures. Because again, when you speak to failures in businesses, it means that you're actually doing something. Because if you're not making a attempt at all, it means if you're not failing, right, it means you're not making any attempt at all. So understanding digital transformation from a cultural standpoint of it's requiring organizations to continually challenge the status quo of what is happening around them. How can I do what I'm doing even better and be in business and it will make more revenue and all of that? Then the knowledge of business failures will become something that we're comfortable with, because the moment we find ourselves in a challenge situation or in a failure kind of thing, we begin to challenge ourselves. Wait a minute, what do I need to do to actually address this so that I find myself in a better way? And how do I leverage digital transformation in a situation like this? So it's very exciting for us to begin to really pay very close attention as to how digital transformation is very, very important in delivering businesses or business services to our customers in our world today, because it is definitely not going to be business as usual. Why? Because the world is changing, the world is evolving, new technologies are birthed, and we are here in Nigeria talking about the fourth industrial revolution, while other people have moved on to the fifth, sixth industrial revolution. And if we do not prepare ourselves for the changes in technology advancement, then it will be very difficult again for us to, fit in when we find ourselves in a situation where we do not have any option, get to do things technological wise. And I think largely that one of the goals for this session is to find ourselves in a place where we're exposing us to those areas where we need to begin to think broadly and see ourselves, doing things that in the next 5, 10, 15 years will keep us in a place where we're very comfortable. Why? Because we are not only embracing the technology that is available, but we're actually learning through, thinking ahead. So, okay, what if something else happened with the current technology, digital tools that I'm putting together? What can I do? How can I navigate that all? And that is why if you speak to the rise of GAFA, which really speaks to the big five digital platforms where most businesses and organizations that have transformed or are in the process of transforming digitally have adopted or use some of the digital tools. It's very key. And GAFA really speaks to Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, and Microsoft, also known as the big five. And it could be from cloud storage, it could be from collaboration, it could be from security, it could be from communication tools, and these big giants have it covered. So we really begin to, again, it would be shocking. Zoom became the order of the day in 2020, and I will be shocked that before the outbreak of COVID-19, if you ask some of us seated here in this session that did you know that there was a platform called Zoom and all of that, with all honesty, I will tell you no, because even before that we have Skype. How many of us leverage Skype? How many of us thought that there is a need for us to sit down and just Skype and do a meeting rather than physically finding ourselves in someone's office and all of that? But COVID made it became very obvious. So okay, you know what, we can do this and it's very effective and all of that. So if we wait until we begin to find ourselves in situations like that, then again we will struggle. We will go from the back. We will rather be portraying what is actually going ahead of us at all. But with the knowledge of the fact that as an SME, I am definitely going to be successful. Not only successful, I will be very competitive in the business I'm doing with my core competitors. Why? Because I am leveraging deliberately digital tools or digital transformation opportunities to integrate my business technological wise and fundamentally change how I operate and deliver value to customers. Then we would really be in that place where we are actually on the path of success with SMEs. The good thing is when you speak to SMEs, we have a lot of it. And when you talk about developing economies and contribution to economy, SMEs do that. And maybe if you want to speak to examples of SMEs, you could refer to bars, you could refer to salons, you could refer to law firms, you can refer to so many small businesses that on a day-to-day basis we wake up and see. And these are the businesses that really, are in place that monies are exchanged and you get to see turnovers in the economy. And when you speak to the economy of any country or developing economy of ours, it is largely contributed by SMEs. So if we could see that we are that very relevant to the development of a nation or its economy, then it becomes even very important for us to find ourselves in that place of seeing how deliberate we can be in delivering our services, leveraging tools that are digitally inclined in helping the way we operate and deliver value to our customers. So in speaking directly to specific tools, I just mentioned Zoom. I've spoken directly to WhatsApp, to Facebook. Some organizations have leveraged platforms like Trello. You have Microsoft Teams, and there are other online customer relationship management tools like Zendesk. You have a whole lot, like in the customer relation management and tool like Zendesk. Yeah, that's much related to customer relationship management. For logistics companies, they will prioritize the use of several management tools and all of that. This really about the basic tool, and maybe the most common for us as SMEs that we know today in Nigeria, the WhatsApp, the Facebook pages that we have. you rarely find people using the other platforms can actually be found in small organizations where they're delivering certain services, like office spaces and the conversations around virtual platforms, so Microsoft and all that. So these are basic tools, and what they do for you when you put them into very good use is first, because they're digitally designed, they have all that opportunity for you to be able to be accountable or whatever that's happening. It helps you in record keeping. It helps you in carrying out analysis of your business in terms of the progress you're making, profit you're achieving, where you have challenges, what you need to do for that, and it just makes your entire operation such that it's easy to think around. Okay, wait a minute. It looks like there is a challenge here. How do we navigate this? What other tool can we add to what we're using so that we find ourselves in a place where we remain very relevant in delivering our services as SMEs? So overall, it is to say that as SMEs, first, we need to understand how relevant we are in contribution to the development of our nation's economy. That's number one. Number two, see from how owning the business of that particular magnitude, it's supporting your well-being as an individual, aside you delivering a service or selling a product and all of that. And again, be very clear with the fact that the knowledge of business should be from a going concern standpoint. Why? Because it should be distinguished between the owner and the business itself. And if your goal is to remain in business and remain very strong, then there is a need for you to guarantee sustainability. And for you to do that, it is very, very important that you do not only look out for digital transformation options, but you need to embrace it and make it something that it's deliberate for you and your business. If that is done, then your business as an SME will not only be guaranteed sustainability, but you will be in that place where the value addition that you will be delivering in the course of carrying out your business will be on a larger scale. And honestly speaking, as SMEs, it does not mean that we should operate and remain at that level. If your business is a going concern and you understand the benefits of digital transformation to it, and you embrace it, and you are deliberately, ensuring that in the areas of doing your business, you definitely leverage the opportunities of the benefits of digital transformation, digital tools that can help you deliver service better. Then we hope that from small scale enterprise, you will go to medium and eventually become multinationals and bigger enterprises where you'll be rendering services at that level on the very large scale. So we all need to understand how little the benefits of digital transformation is already to all the young people who are already carrying out a whole lot of businesses here and there currently. But the goal should be, the question will be that what you're doing now, are you just doing it as a side also, so they call it, or if you're doing it with the goal of growing it for it to become something big tomorrow and all that. And I think for me, I will advise that you should be deliberate, because when you speak to the impact of unemployment today in our society, it is one of the benefits where SMEs now exist. Why? Because it creates that opportunity where people are no longer idle, irrespective of the fact that their employment opportunities are not available and all. Their involvement in saying, okay, you know what, I want to start up this, I want to do this and all. rather contribute to reducing the problem of unemployment, because some SMEs are really, as small as they may seem, are able to, absorb one or two persons from an employment standpoint who are actually supporting the business. And also, we need to be very deliberate about what we're doing as SMEs and do it with the goal of building it to become one bigger businesses and multinational, where we're operating on a very large scale. And this can only be achieved. And I say it again, this can only be achieved when we do not only accept that digital transformation is beneficial, but we embrace it and deliberately put it into good use. The knowledge of the software is a major problem. 99% of our nonprofit leaders or SMEs and leaders, they not have that knowledge. But there is a handful of young people who have decided to say, you know what, this is what I want to do. So it is very good for you to look out for them, so they can come with that knowledge or that level of expertise in the area of that particular digital tool that is relevant to your SME in delivering your business or delivering services that you render better. And you can do it strategically whilst the person is delivering the services to you at the cost of that particular spend. You can make it your way. You can also learn from how you can also do that on your own, such that at the point of the exit of such a person, you are actually in charge of ensuring that you run your own social enterprises with a very good knowledge of digital tools or platforms that can actually help you deliver all of your businesses and services. So at this point in time, I would want to leave it to Legacy Lab, and if there are questions available, we can actually speak to it directly. But at this point in time, I'll hand it over to Legacy Lab.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Raphael, and it's been a great time having you with us. Sorry we got to put up the traffic. Yeah, do we have any question? I mean, digital transformation for your business is essential, especially in this era whereby you can't, but I mean, for you to be able to sell or probably to reach out to your customers, it's borderless, and for being in Nigeria, your client, your customers, or in other places outside the country. So, yeah, you need to be able to level up and be able to era. I don't know if there are any questions. I say apologies that we started late. It was due to Mr. Raphael is in Lagos and tried as much as possible to catch up to be in a serene environment. So I think if there are no questions, permit us to close early in order for him, because he had to stop by at the restaurant to grace this webinar. So if there are no questions, permit us to close early so that he can continue his trip as very easy. And thank you everybody for joining us. This series is held monthly, so last Thursday of June, that's 29th of June, we'll be having another edition. And I want to appreciate our partners at Novately Africa, good developers. Thank you for supporting this series. Thank you everybody for joining us. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Mr. Raphael, and we wish you a safe trip home. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Legacy Lab. It's really my pleasure to be here. I really was quite on the duress, but I hope that we'll still do this again and do it better.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Everyone, I will see you on the next.
All right.